First thing we need to do is buy a domain name. There are two things to keep in mind when you're buying one. First, the particular domain name in question, and second, if you're planning to actually use the domain, DNS configuration. Obviously, if you know this stuff and if you already have a domain name, you can skip this step. If you don't, you'll have to buy one from a domain registrar. My recommendation is Ansible. For DNS, you should use one of the providers which is natively supported by Certbot. If we go to the Certbot's documentation webpage, section DNS plugins, you will find a list of supported providers. Now, this is not a hard constraint, but it will make your life easier. I will talk more about Certbot later. For now, just pick one of the providers from the list. I will be using Linode DNS. You can use whois command to check domain availability. You could also go to a domain registrar's website and search from there, and it's mostly safe, but some registrars are into these dark patterns where they will adjust pricing based on what you search for. If you've ever searched for airline tickets, for example, and came back the next day just to see a 30% price increase, you know what I mean. I didn't hear that Ansible is doing that, but it's just something to be aware of. Okay, let's go and buy a domain now. Open up your web browser, and if you don't already have it, register an account on Ansible. I have one and I'm already logged in, so I could just search for the domain name here. But let's try it with the whois command first. In my terminal, I will get info on devops.com. Now, devops.com is taken for sure, but let's inspect the output of whois command. As you can see, there's a lot of info here. For example, we can see that registrar for devops.com is GoDaddy. We can see that it was first registered in 2004, that it was renewed on this date, and that its current expiration date is this. Whois command will also tell you DNS servers for the desired domain. So for devops.com, that's ns21.domaincontrol.com and ns22.domaincontrol.com. Okay, so devops.com is taken. Bummer. Let's try another one. I did try this one earlier. It's do for DevOps, -p for project. So it's short and not completely meaningless. Let's see what will whois say. It says no match for domain do-p.com. Great, that means that domain is still available for registration. Let's go and buy that one. Go back to your web browser and type in the desired domain name. For me, that is do-p.com. Press search, and here are the results. Now, almost every domain registrar will offer similar domains in a list below. Those will usually include discounts. Be careful here. If you are planning to renew the domain you'll buy, you should always look at the price without the discount, because when the time comes to renew the domain, that discount might not be there anymore. So, if you have a choice, get one which is cheap even without the discount. If you have to use a certain top-level domain for whatever reason, there's not much to think about. Okay, let's proceed. So do-p.com, add to cart. Proceed to checkout. We will ignore configuration options for now. You can check them out if you like. do-p, press continue. That will take you to the billing page. Now, my account is enrolled in Ansible discount program, and I have to use Ansible account funds for purchasing domains. You can use your credit card, so check that. And the last thing is to accept the terms and place my order. Okay, we've just bought a domain. Now that we have a domain name, we need to configure DNS. What that means is that we need to replace the default name servers, the ones which were assigned by the domain registrar, in my case name silo, with the DNS servers of our choosing. In my case, DNS servers provided by Linode. If you are using something other than Linode or name silo, this will look a bit different, but the core principle is the same. Let's go back to the terminal first and check the output of whois command again. Last time, it said that do-p.com was available for registration. This time, however, the output is different. We can see that name silo has assigned default name servers for our domain. That's ns1.dnsal.com, ns2, and ns3. We need to replace these three default name servers with the name servers from Linode. Go back to your web browser. On the Linode website, in the sidebar, click Domains, click Create Domain. This is do-p.com for me. Enter your email address, skip the Insert Default Records field, and click Create Domain. You will be presented with a list of DNS servers. Let's copy the first DNS server. Go back to the name silo website and click Manage My Domains. Wait for the list to load and click on our domain. Scroll down to the name servers section. You can see the default ones here and click Change. We need to replace the default name servers. Only 2 of those are mandatory. I will replace all 3. ns1 linode.com, ns2 linode.com, and ns3 linode.com. Scroll down and click Submit. This will take a few moments. And now, for the status for our domain, it says processing. We can go back to the terminal and check the whois again. And it's already updated. We can see that name servers are now from Linode. Okay, we are done with this step. In the next video, I'll explain what have we actually done here and tell you more about DNS.